Hello, I'm James Ingram. This video was digitized from a 1992 videotape series named V9202.
What I refer to as an optical block. This is a block filled around the APS electric eye. When it's tripped by a train going through it, it goes to red and activates and will stop the next train if it hasn't timed out. There's a mogul approaching in the camera now, and the block is still red, so this train will probably stop. Now that block timed out. Okay, that train is still stopped. There it goes. Now it timed out and let that train proceed. This works on a slightly different principle than the LGB blocks. It works on time delay. There's an electric eye just ahead of the block. When the train goes over that eye, it trips the block to red. The block will stay red for a predetermined amount of time, which is adjustable from 1 second to 200 seconds. This is all built into the APS control circuitry, so that block will delay an approaching train that's trying to overtake a train going through it. It'll delay the approaching train, or I should say the train trying to catch the first one, anywhere from 1 second to 200 seconds. You saw that mogul stop. It was delayed to let the diesel in front of it get ahead. Time out so it's green, so that diesel will go right on through. As the diesel passes across the electric eye in the truck, it will set the block to red, which is what makes the mogul following behind it stop. The block is now red. The camera may pick up in front of the two rheostat knobs. There's a red light and a green light, and when the red light is lit, it means the block is activated and it will hold any trains that are trying to follow that one that just went through. Here comes the mogul coming along behind. It's in the slowdown section. There's always all these blocks have a slowdown section as they approach a red block. The slowdown section is simply a reduced voltage section that slows them down, rather than just so the trains just don't come in and make an abrupt stop. They come in slowly on the slowdown section, then they stop. Now that mogul will wait there until the block times out and releases it. There it goes. I'm going to put my finger down where the electric eye is. Where I'm pointing is the electric eye, which the train trips when it's going through it. Electric eye in operation using the APS automatic block. You can see the diesels entering the block. This block basically operates on a timer principle. When a train goes over it, it trips the eye and closes the block behind it. The second light back that's lit up indicates the block has been tripped. That's this light right here where the yardstick is pointing. When that light goes out, excuse me, wrong light, back by the eye unit. When that second light goes out, it means the block has returned to its normal state and the contacts will close. This block, we're using the green contacts for the track, which means the track is normally powered. When a train goes over it and activates the eye, there the light just went out. Now the block is open. Let's watch the mogul coming through. The block is green, so this train will proceed right on through, tripping the eye in the process. Now you see when the cars get out of the way, that second light will again be lit, indicating the block has been activated and it's now turned off. So any trains following this train would have to stop and wait for the amount of time that the block is set for. You see the two rheostats. The forward rheostat, which is this one, controls the speed of the train as it starts on, as it crosses the block. If the train stops, like the mogul sometimes does, when it starts out, it'll start at reduced voltage, which we control by turning that rheostat back. The second rear rheostat back there controls the speed of the second block, which we call the slowdown block, which is this track approaching the main block. When the block is red, it'll bring trains in at a reduced speed. Now the block is green right now, so the diesel's just going to go through at regular speed. Here comes the mogul into the block. Now the block is still activated because the diesel just went through. We had an accident and had to stop the trains. See, the mogul came to a stop. Up here we can see that light. There you can see the mogul starting out. It's very subtle, but it starts out at a reduced voltage because of that first resistor, which gives a little bit of a cushion starting effect instead of just yanking everything. This block has the standard APS features. Most of them are hidden behind the scenery. You can't see too well. Basically down here is a first control is sensitivity, the middle control is time, adjustable from 1 second to 200 seconds. That adjusts the time delay for how long the block stays activated after a train goes through it. Right here in the track is the electric eye. See the diesel goes through. See the eye is now activated, indicated by that second white light coming on. It indicates the eye's been tripped. So we probably got ours set for about 50 seconds. So when that diesel goes through and trips the block, for the time period about 50 seconds while that second white light is on, the green contacts, which are normally closed, will stay in the open position and stop any train that's trying to follow it. The left light on the end, on the left end, is just basically indicates power. There's a knife switch down here kind of buried under all the camouflage that allows us to disconnect the block. If we disconnect the block, then the whole thing just acts like a piece of straight track. When it's powered on, that left light tells us that it is getting power. Here comes the mogul. Again, the block's not activated, so the mogul will just go sailing through. Notice it trips the second white light. I should say it trips the block, which is indicated by the second white light, which indicates the block is now red when any train is trying to follow this train.
Membership or general? That we should have set into membership one.
I'll slide over and get a front view of the switch tower. Comes the diesel through. Covered the block back up. You can now see the APS electric eye and block is underneath the camouflaged dirt mound. Here's the mogul at the block. Again, you can see the block's covered up, but it's still functioning the same, stopping the mogul. That hasn't timed out yet. In a second, it'll take out. Observe, you can see the mogul start at a slightly reduced voltage and then speed up as it hits the end of the block.